Way too often, I see couples communication turn into a negotiation, a compromise, but we don't end up feeling connected. We don't actually end up feeling bonded with the person that we love. What we need is oxytocin. And the only way that we can get oxytocin is by diving into the limbic center, the opposite side of our fight or flight system. We need to get emotional in order to feel bonded, but so many of us are trying to stay calm, trying to stay reasonable, trying to be mature, that we actually cut ourselves off at the knees at trying to connect with our significant other in a romantic way. So here's how I use reflective listening in a new way in order to create that limbic primal connection that you're looking for with your significant other. My name is Dr. Gregory Donahue, and this is Zen for Men. Men's mental health put into action. Real, practical change. If you're here, you probably have more questions about men's mental health, or maybe about relationships in general. That's why I wrote the book, Get Out of Your Head and Start Living, your survival guide to men's mental health. It's the fundamentals of the how-to question. When someone told me to be more empathetic, to self-regulate better, or to be more self-aware, this is how I got from no skill to feeling competent, confident, and comfortable in my mental health. I will put a link to that book in the description below. First things first, even if you consider yourself a really reasonable, stoic person, be ready for emotions, because these tactics will activate emotional centers, sometimes against your will because they're tied into our body responses. So keep that in mind, be ready, and try to have an open mind for your emotions to come forward, even if you don't expect it to. And if it doesn't, that's okay too. So 2 things are required in reflective listening in order to really ramp up the gear for your emotions. 1, physical contact. So I will have couples sit knee to knee, and they will hold hands resting on their legs. So they will face each other, knee to knee, holding hands, left and right. And then the second thing they add is eye contact. Both of those things fire up mirror neurons, fire up oxytocin. But here's the thing. If you don't feel safe with the person that you're making physical contact with and eye contact with, it gets uncomfortable. Some people laugh, some people cry, some people smile or get awkward or uncomfortable. Other people have to break eye contact immediately. That's not a coincidence. That is your limbic system activating and telling you some truth that either we are not as safe as we should be with this person, or truth that there's something that we need to say. And that's what reflective listening is about. So turning towards them, making physical contact, making eye contact, really tough, really uncomfortable. I want each of you to be thinking of something that you've been wanting the other person to understand. Something that even if you run around it a time and time again, they just don't seem to get it. You've tried, they're either getting defensive, or they mistranslate, or they just avoid it altogether. So think of the thing that you want, and you're going to pick one person. And once you have these topics picked out, I want you to pick which one of you is going to go first. And when reflective listening, one person goes until they feel heard. That is the important part. It's not just about the other person reflecting back the words that they said. There's a massive difference when you can feel the other person gets you. They actually understand. Now, this is not about agreement. The person who's about to reflect, they don't need to agree with what you're saying. This is all about just understanding. That's where we have to start. And usually there are multiple levels of understanding. So the one person who's speaking, in order to be reflected, they are going to be assessing, even if the person repeated verbatim, word for word what you said. Do I feel that they got it? Or maybe after they said it back, I realized there was more. I should have said a different detail, or something else came to mind. So one person goes into it and they just say, this is what I've been trying to get you to understand. You're making physical contact, you're making eye contact, try to get it across to them. When you feel like you're at a pausing point, you say, okay, I think that's it for now. Then the partner reflects back a paraphrased version of what they think they heard. Let them go the full time and say, okay, that's what I think I heard. Then switch back to the person who it's their turn, and they are going to give a percentage of 0%. I don't think you got a single bit of what I was trying to say, or 100%. You got every single, like, I feel it, I feel felt, and I feel like you understand it. it's going to fall somewhere in there. I've seen anywhere from 20% to 80%. Almost never is 100% the first time. There's going to be a nuance that is missed or a different emphasis that wasn't there. That's by design. So trust that. Don't just throw the other person a bone. Like, be realistic. This is for them to understand. So then you go again. You say, okay, I think you got 75% of that. The 25% that I think you still aren't getting is this. Then the other person reflects back that 25%, so on and so forth, until you get pretty much 100% and say, okay, I think you at least understand everything that I'm saying. Don't be surprised if it's 4 or 5 times back and forth with the one person as the main speaker until they get to 100% feeling understood. Still making physical contact, still making eye contact. Usually when the one person is done, shake it off, stand up, get a breather, relax for a little bit, then come back, trade places, and what the other person hopes that you would understand. That is reflective listening, and it is powerful. It activates the limbic system. It is less likely to be a negotiation, and it's more likely going to be a gut level, deep emotional response, because it's really hard to get fully reasonable and prefrontal cortex when you're touching someone and when you're making eye contact with someone. So trust the limbic system. Go for that oxytocin level connection with your loved one, with your significant other. I promise you will feel the difference. If this content is helpful for you, please hit the like and subscribe button. It really helps this algorithm to get more of these tools and tips to couples and to the men who need it. And I wish you happy bonding. Take care.